who are making that transition, the moment they're ready, they will just say, I'm ready. Like, they have let go of the dream of being like a professor, having elbow patches on their suit jacket, both for anybody, right? Or maybe on their knees. But, and that was like a turning point for me as well, where I said, you know what, I'm reassessing what I'm looking for in life. And when I went to industry, I started doing some soul searching, and I asked myself, what are my key things? What are sort of my deal breakers? And later I'll get into that when you're sort of getting offers, right? I said, well, compensation is fairly important, right? Like you don't have to be overly compensated, but you should be fairly compensated. Everybody here has a Big Ten university degree, which is, very, very good, right? And so you should be compensated appropriately. And for a very, very long time, even as a postdoc, I was being paid less than people who came up with a bachelor's degree. But I'm doing it for science and for altruistic purposes, right? But when you have a family, stuff just gets real, right? Let's just be very, very honest and open about that, right? And then I guess the other part about sort of filtering the noise. Don't worry. So I'm actually going to, my next slide will kind of tell you a little bit more about filtering process. Other questions? Yes.
Could you talk about some of the challenges you faced being international, looking for work in the United States, particularly applying for jobs?
So the long story is I married an American. My wife's American. It was also, I graduated from MSU, so maybe I got lucky. I take it for granted sometimes. But for other people, I definitely have colleagues where it's much more challenging. And I would say is oftentimes continuing down the academic route, like doing a PhD, often there's like this national waiver program, like a green card lottery that you might be able to do to justify that you have these expertise. And you might get lucky, right? Because if you gain these sort of data science expertise, and there's a boatload of jobs, there's, lobbyists, who will lobby for people to get green cards. And in fact, a lot of the West Coast companies will have almost the large majority of sponsorships for green cards that I'm aware of. Like my company does not, unfortunately, but many, especially larger companies will. Right? And so I think if you're good and people want to work with you, you'll probably have no problem. Right? So practice not only your hard data science skills, but those soft skills, and get out and network. Because if people want to work for you, you will work with them ultimately. Right? So remember that relationships matter. Was there other questions? Yes.
I have a two-part question. One is more specifically to a PhD in data science and work-life balance. Have you found that in data science, do you generally have some people that are like hardcore, like 60 hours, or is it more 60, 80 hours, or is it more kind of laid back, or does it depend on the industry? Because it seems like some industries tend to be more work all the time, some not, and so what have you found I guess for data science in general, what is work-life balance, and how do companies kind of treat that?
I guess the first thing is that I'll preface it by saying that I work for one company.
Okay.
Okay. So take mine as one data point. Okay. And go in and talk to other people as well. But I mean, I've spoken to other people too, right, in the data science community. And the perception that I get is that it also depends if you're working for a startup versus for a more the big tech company versus like a medium-sized company like mine. And that's where getting into the company culture comes in. But again, I haven't gotten to sort of even you haven't even landed the job yet, let's say from this perspective, right? So along this journey. So ask those questions when you're getting an interview, right? So my company culture is fantastic.
Okay.
They, when I was a graduate student, when I was a postdoc, it's like I always said that I was working 80-hour weeks and my boss thought I was working 20, right? And I wasn't doing enough. And now I have my boss saying to me, within 6 months of working there, I was still working as if I was a postdoc. And my boss said to me, Sean, you came in at 7. You need to leave earlier. You came in at 7 2 days in a row. You need to leave early today. And you tell your wife that I said so, right? But that's me, right? But there's like a fundamental difference, which is, as a PhD student or as a postdoc, if I didn't do the work, right, it was on me.
Mm-hmm.
That burden was completely on me. Now I have a team. It is a team burden. We all win or we all fail together, right? And so if other people are working hard with me, it feels kind of good, right? But at the same time, hopefully you're choosing a position or a company that has good work culture. And that's where sort of that 9 months of searching time comes in too, right? Is that feel empowered to say no, right? Because trust your gut instinct. You know when something is right for you. But sometimes if you're at an earlier or different stage in your life, everybody has different circumstances, right? If you're at a different stage in your life where you could work a little bit harder, right, and spend more hours, that's good, that works for you. But there's other people like me where maybe I'm a little bit more senior, and I think I know exactly how hard I can work, and I don't think that working an extra 4 hours actually is the best work product. But instead of working harder, I want to work smarter, right? How can I be really smart about removing all of the noisiness of the stuff that I'm doing, saying no to things that I don't think are worth going to pursue, right? And being able to communicate that. I mean, if my boss says to me, you know what, thou shalt go and do this, that's fine, right? But at the other breath, I can say, you know what, I'm going to tell you this is probably not a good idea for me to go and do it because I'm going to spend a ton of time on it, right? And for some people, I think the requirement about work-life, I have heard people say that work-life balance is sort of a strange thing in terms of the naming of itself. I think some people have told me about work-life integration, or and I've even heard it's just life. Mm-hmm. It is just life, right? And you are just finding balance in life of what you're looking for. Because for some people, it is paying off student debt, and that is what is needed to be done first. For other people, it is family. Right? That is for my case. And if you get lucky, you have the best of all worlds too. Right? But it is finding that right job. But unless you put yourself out there, it's not going to fall and land in your lap. You must network, and you have to be open-minded even where you can work. Like, it doesn't have to be always Michigan, right? Expand your horizons. Like, I've even thought about working back in Canada, working in Hong Kong where I was born, right, in other countries. So keep that open-mindedness, because it doesn't mean that it's for life that you're going to be working there, right? So you can always take those experiences and come back and even be more desirable. Because sometimes it's getting that experience, and you're getting sort of your foot in the door and building that reputation and that network. Other questions? Cool. So the next phase, right, now that you have your resume, is that job search. And I feel like I'm running on time, but I don't know if there's a time limit.
Let's go until 7:45.
Okay, cool. The goal of the job search, right, like I was saying, is apply, apply, apply. And so going back to your earlier question of how do you filter, right, which one? Here's sort of like, it's not so dirty secret, right? Anybody remember this couple from Up, right? It's sort of like marriage, right? But it's even simpler than marriage. When you look at a job posting, if you find that there's a 60% match between your skill set and what that job posting is saying, and you're interested in learning that other 20, 30, 40%, apply. Because think about this. If a company has a job posting, right, that's open, they probably needed to fill that position 3 months ago. And if they knew somebody that was really great for it, they would have hired them already. They would have filled that position. The fact that they often have that position out there is because they're looking for somebody. And that sort of unicorn is really hard to find. So if you find that you've got roughly 60% of those skills, just start applying, right? Don't question it, right? But do iterate your resume so that it matches. And then gain experience in that iteration so that, again, the point is to land an interview. So 60% is good enough, right? 80% is, I'd be happy, to interview that person. But I'd also be happy to bring in somebody to get a feel for it. Maybe they're not great at writing their resume, right? And I've just missed it, right? So I'm happy to bring somebody in. Or they might come in and they're eager and they're motivated to solve business problems, and that's also fantastic too. So in the field of data science, again, being so new, we're willing to train people. So keep that in mind, right? So don't get so caught up in thinking, oh well, it sounds like they're looking for this, and I'm only this. No, don't sell yourself short. 60% match is good. And then obviously in those job postings, there's sort of junior versus senior positions, so look out for those as well, right? If you're sort of lacking some of that experience, you probably want to apply for the more junior positions. But again, if it looks like their minimum requirement is a bachelor's degree or even a master's, and you have some experience dealing with data, maybe doing some like undergraduate research, just apply for it. Right? If you've had opportunities dealing with real world problems, just apply for it too. I think the senior level positions often are for more managerial type, right? So keep that in mind as well, where they want you to train somebody. Okay? And there's obviously funding. And also remember, right, I kind of touched upon this on the last one, is the technical route versus the managerial route. Different companies might have different policies. Like in my company, we have both technical, like where you're maybe like a data analyst, where you're just doing the work, right? And there's other people who might not be as technically skilled, but are great to be managers that will help support you, give you resources to help you succeed. And it depends. And really the fundamental difference that I think about here, right? Managers deal with people problems. Technical people deal with technical problems, right? Like programming problems or statistics or math problems, right? Or even business problems. And the managers tend to deal with sort of business related, maybe sometimes politics. So you could be a mixture of both. And you could also become a manager once you've gained enough technical proficiency. So keep that in mind. And this is from Brave. So again, I encourage you, don't overanalyze those job postings. 60% match, just go and apply. Okay? So feel motivated and apply, and iterate. And I'll pause there real quick for questions. Anybody?